Now, before I get into the list, please check out my review of Mortal Shell. I worked really hard on this video and had to re-upload it a couple times because either Content ID or YouTube being YouTube. But if you enjoy it and you enjoy this video, please like, subscribe, and support me on Patreon. Thank you. Well, guys, it's Spooktober again, and just like you, I'm thinking, wow, it's already October? Snuck up on us. And it's time to make an October-themed video. Oh, and I know what you're thinking. How dare you use as a Christmas meme in October? But Jill, no, I'm with you in this boat. So, let's get on with the video, and, talk about my top 10 games to play during October. These aren't necessarily horror-themed games, but a lot of them have you running away from bad situations. A lot of them have really creepy things, and some are just plain dark. But let's get into this fantastic stuff. Number 10 is Dark Sector. Now, this game I bought from a video game store that used to be in my hometown, and I played it for a little bit, but to be honest with you, I didn't beat it. However, it's just one of those games that you just turn off your brain, hack some shit up, and have some fun. But long story short, you're a CIA agent infected with a techno-organic virus, and you go around slashing shit up. Next is number 9, The Darkness. You're possessed as by the devil, going around hunting and members of your own family, who are part of the mafia, who tried to kill you, members of the corrupt police department that are in league with them, and I don't want to spoil anything, but the entity within you has resided inside your family for generations, and it demands hearts to be harvested, and it is one of the coolest aspects of the game, coolest executions of in pretty much most video games that I've ever played. And that includes Assassin's Creed, Halo, Doom, stuff like that. All in all, it's a really fun game to play. Really dark at times, too. But the antagonist of this game, even though he gets knocked down, he always gets back up and always takes down whatever goes after him. And there's not just one game in this installment. And there's a sequel to this game, but this game I would definitely recommend and you play it during this month. Now, on to the next topic. Number 8, Gears of War 2. While not as overtly dark as the previous entry, this series has its moments. Like with Halo, this is the game where you get to see the real enemy, the Lambent, but you don't see it towards the final chapter of the game. However, it has some psychologically dark moments, such as the death of the ironclad Ty Lopez, inventor of the Lancer, who through the torture of the Locust was driven insane, and he killed himself after being rescued by Marcus. Next, when you finally get to see what the emulsion is doing to the Locust, is when you're riding the Brumac, and it creates the final boss, the Lambent Brumac, which, knowing the Lambents in Gears of War 3, I'm really glad we didn't have to face another one of these, because it would have been even worse than the Lambent Berserker. But you get what can be really cool, yet disturbing at the same time, is this twisted transformation of the Brumac into this really eldritch looking creep right here. I want to use my big boy words, but YouTube will suppress this video. But one of the most heartbreaking, dark scenes in this is when Dom goes to rescue his love, Maria. Right on Dom's face, you see a weight about to be lifted off his shoulders, just like when Marcus was gonna save Ty. However, things are not as it seems. Dom sees Maria as she was the last time he saw her. However, something is off about this scene. Something doesn't seem right. You're thinking, Ty was messed up. This can't be real. It's not logical, but Marcus chimes in, snaps Dom out of his hallucination, and the crimson glasses are lifted. Right here, Dom's heart breaks all over again as he sees what the locusts have done to Maria. She is no longer there inside. She is merely just a shell of the lovely young lady she was. She is blind, deaf. The shock of her trauma has made her unable to speak. Dom despairs over not being able to save her. And a darkening realization has occurred to the viewer, to the player, that just like with Old Yeller, mercy must be had. Dom struggles while Marcus is there for his blood brother. And Dom finally has to accept what he has to do to save Maria once and for all. There are no happy endings. He loves her. He embraces her. And then he says goodbye. Dom pulls the trigger, and as the shot rings out, Marcus's heart breaks for his brother in arms, as dawn sets on a chapter of his life. Number 7, Limbo. This game is a fun platformer, but just like me, it has a dark sense of humor. You play as a kid in limbo between life and death, trying to make his way out of limbo, and you have to traverse spider traps, bear traps, pitfalls, rope falls, all sorts of dangers to get to the final goal, which is escape. This game I got in one of those B-list game things you get from the back of Walmart's shelves and stuff. And it came with like Explosion Man and like this motorcycle game. All of them are so much fun. But those are a story for another day. This game was just darkly hilarious whenever you would fail a puzzle, because like most platformers, each part of the stage is a puzzle to the next part of the game, and if you fail, you can die in the most horrific ways. But next is Bloodborne, a game that I've been itching to play, and I hope to play sometime. Now, why haven't I played Bloodborne? Well, I'm one of the Xbox scrubs that wasn't lucky enough to get in on that Bloodborne deal. However, I really like Bloodborne from what I've seen of the gameplay, from fighting Cowboy, Mithy Moo, those type of YouTubers. But what really inspired me to put this on this list was the Lovecraftian themes throughout this game. This game, Miyazaki worked on so hard. He didn't just say he created it out of dreams, no pun intended. He was ambitious. He put his heart and soul into this game, and with these games, who knows, maybe that was literal. But the dark themes and sinister overtone of the game really throws you into that spooky feeling that makes it ideal to play in October. Monsters, demons, eldritch beings jumping out of every corner, trying to take you down, keep you from escaping the dream world. Oh, heck, even Gehrman the First Hunter has his own reasons to keep you from taking his place atop that hill as the ruler of the dream world, because he wants you to escape the dream. Accept his offer, and you escape the nightmare. Or reject his offer, and you yourself are condemned to repeat this dream forever until someone takes your spot. Again, going with the cyclical themes that Miyazaki so loves. Just like with Miyazaki's previous works, you choose either to live in darkness or make the right choice and end the suffering that is life. But on to number 5, Left 4 Dead 2. Now this game I still play to this day. If I'm getting my butt whooped in Dark Souls or Mortal Shell too much, I just take a break, play this game, and kill some zombies. Throw some boomer pile on some scrub online. Which is another thing. This game is over a decade and a half old and still has online multiplayer. Just like with Dark Souls, you're thrown in there, don't even know where you come from really. Well, at least at first. All you know is that you must kill. Just like with On Reach, final level, all you must do is try to survive as long as you can. However, unlike with Reach, Left 4 Dead 2 allows you to escape the hell that you are thrown into. But this, I was very tempted to put at number 1, and I really consider you play it for Spooktober 2020. And next, the one, the only, Doom Eternal and Doom 2016. These two games are being lumped in the same. At least I believe. Of course, there's always classic Doom. Love that. Just love that. And so violent, any child can play. But not according to YouTube. So, rated M for mature, this game is a violent, action-packed bloodbath. You go around slicing and dicing demons. You finally have enemies that are a pain in the butt to beat. However, you will love this game if you have not already played it. It's not even a turn your brain off and just fight type of game. There's a lot of cool lore. There's an expansion to the rest of the series. You're all starting this because you got to get revenge for your bunny. I understand that some coyotes killed my bunny earlier in the year. No, I'm not ready to go on to the next subject. We'll put that off for another minute. But Doom, you go around. Conquering hell, heaven, and recently the new DLC for this game just dropped. So play this game. It's a Christian game. If your parents suspect you're some sort of Satanist, they say, Mom, I like the angels, right? They'll be like, I don't know, but but okay. But you get this nice little sword right here, and I'm not spoiling anything. Hopefully. Can you tell how much I love this franchise? I almost brought it as much as Call of Duty spoilers and pencils ahead. But come on, take the fight to them.
I'm sure
And
we want
remember,
to try out the
rhythm
weapon
cares.
first before we leave.
Now, on to number 3, Call of Duty Zombies. It doesn't have to be World at War. It doesn't have to be Call of Duty 1, 2, 3. Actually, I think 3 had those aliens, but we don't talk about that. And Call of Duty Zombies, a staple of the series that actually almost overshadowed the base game, at least for the first game itself. I remember playing this game with my friends, and the farthest I got to with my friends was 84. My friends were all better than me. I was just dying, falling off the bus, dying in Kina de Toten because I wasn't paying attention, because I was more focused on getting that sweet, sweet meteor. And this game mode, you can upgrade your weapons, which would be broken in multiplayer. However, in this game, they quickly grow out of style in a few rounds. But the more powerful ones, 10, 20 rounds. But the zombies were created from an element known as 115, which explains a song you find in Kinder de Toten. 115 has always had a mystic element in sci-fi. In this one, it makes zombies. In Bob Lazar's story, he says, is testify the right word? I don't know. But he says that the aliens used it to make their UFOs fly. I don't know, but we're talking about zombies. In number 2, you go to the place where the meteor was discovered by the Germans. You hijack a bunch of, well, actually just one giant robot. In number 1, you go all the way to the moon, nuke the Earth, which is why number 2, everything's on fire. But as you can see, the music video is actually not exaggerating that much. That's how it is when you get past round 50. There's zombies everywhere, there's crawlers everywhere. You're having to light everything on fire. And it's like in Halo Reach, your only objective is to survive. But, most importantly, this game allows you to have endless amounts of fun. But now for number 2, Dark Souls. The game that has broken many controllers across the world, funded Big Drywall. We're on to you, Big Drywall. We know you're wanting us to play these games. You're getting millions off of us. But this game, as I talked about in Mortal Shell, is a masochistic game. You gotta keep trying to light the flame. Run from monsters. Try your best not to give up, as the game so wants you to do. And live on. You must pray as the sun 24/7 to light the way in this dark world. This game has become iconic for its difficulty. But it's all up to you and your character design. And the multiplayer is not that bad for the first game, although I can't wait for its sister series, Sekiro, to get a multiplayer mode like it. It'd be very interesting. But the lore of Dark Souls is so intriguing. If you're reading the subtitles in that video, the world started out in darkness until the first flame was lit and kindled. And then people arose. The lords gained the power of the first flame. A dragon betrayed the other dragons, and the lords fought the dragons with lightning bolts. Lord Gwyn had to restore the fire once it started to dim by sacrificing himself. And spoilers, but he is the final boss. And man, he doesn't even like walk, he like floats over to you and is just a big pain in the butt. But not as much as a pain in the butt as levels like Blighttown or that area with the gargoyles. Oh my gosh, the knights kept griefing me every 20 seconds. Dark Souls 2, not that great, honestly, but Dark Souls 3 reconnects with Dark Souls 1, and you have to make the final decision whether to light the flame for the last time, as it's implied in the series. The world's dying, and as a last-ditch attempt, all the people who have been kindled or attempted to kindle the flame have been revived. You fight the bosses, several of the bosses in that game. It's really tragic. They don't want to be kindled. But you must do what you must do. You must either light the flame to continue humanity's. This must be really hard because you have no waifu or whiskey to carry you through all of this literal hell in the game. But my number one pick is Halo 3 for Spooktober 2020. My reason for picking Halo 3 is because, while Halo 2 had that god awful hard level with the library, Halo 3, you just see how messed up the Flood are. Like, they join your side and helping you bust grunts' heads just to get more food. Just so they can play 4D chess and be like, and in the end, we got enough biomass to take over and prevent you from firing the Halo rings. I mean, it's not like you were going to fire the Halo rings yourself. Oh, but you just see in this game, not once, not twice, 3 or 4 times, but like in every chapter that there is the Flood, you see their menacing presence. They drop down. They help you fight the Covenant for a little bit, but the haunting words that Truth says as he's possessed by the Grave Mind, where the Grave Mind tells Truth that he is nothing but food. You are food, nothing more. Gives me chills to this day. The Halo rings were shut down to keep the galaxy from dying, but at the risk of leaving the Flood alive, which, spoilers for Halo Wars, they were left alive. Unlike Truth.
You must be silenced.
You found me. But so much of me is wrong. Out of place. You might be too late.
These are the heartbreaking words that come out of Cortana when you find her upon the Flood ship. After fighting your way through a horde of the Flood, you finally find her. You rescue her. But is it too late? She's been corrupted by the Grave Mind, infected with the Logic Plague. She is suffering. This is apparent from these haunting words that she greets you with. This truly is the most haunting part of the game. The same spunky young AI that you had with you in the previous games, she is now wrecked, shattered, damaged. But you are still there for her. You are still a team. And that's what makes it so heartbreaking when in Halo 5 she comes back. After returning the favor, she sacrificed herself in Halo 4, but due to situations within 343, they made the very controversial decision to bring her back. However, she was not whole when she came back from the domain. She still was damaged from that logic plague. That's the theory I run with. She was your partner. She was your guide. She may have even been your one true love. After all, both of you are damaged goods. John, taken from his home at the age of 6, raised to be a super soldier against his will, fought in more battles than almost any other Spartan in the UNSC. That is why you are at the title of Master Chief. There's definitely PTSD in there. And you see in Halo 4 at the end, when he's still reeling from her sacrifice, that he is just shooken to the core. Halo 3's level where you rescue Cortana, where you fight through the hordes of the Grave Mine while the Grave Mine is trying to enter your mind as well, through Cortana. After all you've been through, and what it leads to, it is truly heartbreaking seeing her lying there before you go on and continue the fight. You finish the fight at the end of the game, and humanity is saved. And she loyally waits for you once more for another 7 years to be woken when you are needed. And in Halo 4, you are needed once again. And now in Halo Infinite, in the aftermath of what happened with Cortana and the soft reboot, who knows what will happen on Zeta Halo? Will we be heartbroken again at the end of this game? Or will it be a satisfying conclusion to the game? I know it won't truly be satisfying because so much Halo lore was taken out when 343 fell apart. But I have high hopes for this game, and hopefully it will be a great send-off for the sequel trilogy. Well, I hope this video was to your liking. I surely worked hard on it this month, and I hope you have a great Spooktober. I hope you have a great Halloween. I myself am going as a plague doctor, and I might even do a video on a plague doctor. I recently left that fry cook job to do freelance jobs, so I got a lot more time on my hands, and I think I'll make that video after all. But this was my top 10 games to play for Spooktober 2020. I know they're not all spooky games. Some of them have spooky elements. Some of them have dark implications. And some of them are just fun. Filled with sci-fi. Filled with thriller. And turn your brain off. But happy Halloween, guys. And this has been Malachi Gaming. Like, subscribe, share, or if you feel like it, support me on Patreon, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you.